The Salesian Touch, approaching spirituality with kindness and compassion. My dear friends, today I invite you to reflect on a spirituality marked not by fear, harshness, or judgment, but by kindness and compassion. This is what we call the Salesian Touch, rooted in the teachings of St. Francis de Sales. It is a path of gentleness, patience, and love, a way that draws people to God by touching their hearts. The first point for reflection today is the essence of the Salesian Touch. At its heart, the Salesian Touch reflects God's love, patient, merciful, and kind. Unlike austere approaches that can discourage souls, the Salesian path meets people where they are and gently guides them forward. 5 qualities define this spirit. First of all, unconditional acceptance. Every person is worthy of love and respect, no matter their past. Secondly, gentleness and patience. Spiritual growth is slow. Harshness does not help. Thirdly, understanding and empathy. To guide others, we must first listen and understand their struggles. Fourthly, optimism and hope. Believing in the goodness of people and the transforming power of grace. Fifthly, practicality and adaptability. Spirituality for everyday life, not just the cloister. The second point for reflection today, St. Francis de Sales' model of compassion. St. Francis de Sales embodied this spirituality. His words, his eyes, even his movements radiated gentleness. People were drawn to him because they felt accepted and loved. As a missionary among the Calvinists, he did not condemn but persuaded with kindness. As a bishop, he was available to all, rich or poor, sinner or saint. His sweetness, as Jane Francis de Chantal testified, was beyond compare. The third point for reflection today, the power of the little virtues. Holiness, St. Francis de Sales taught, is not about great deeds, but the little virtues. Patience, humility, gentleness, and daily kindness create a climate of love where grace flourishes. These may seem small, but they build relationships, soften hearts, and sanctify ordinary life. In practicing these virtues, holiness becomes possible for everyone. The fourth point for our reflection today, kindness in action, lessons from his life. St. Francis de Sales lived what he preached. Let me share a few examples. First of all, evangelization. Instead of arguments, he slipped simple writings under doors at night, gently persuading hearts. Secondly, spiritual direction. He listened patiently, encouraging people to grow in their unique way. Thirdly, availability. Despite his duties, he always had time for people in need. Fourthly, forgiveness. Even when wronged, he chose patience and mercy over resentment. These moments remind us that kindness has the power to heal and transform. The fifth point for reflection today, the Salesian touch for today's world. We live in times marked by division, indifference, and conflict. What better gift can we offer than the Salesian touch? A heart of compassion can renew families, communities, and even society. How can we live this today? First of all, practice active listening. Give people your full attention without judging. Secondly, offer encouragement. A kind word can lift a burdened heart. Thirdly, show empathy. Walk with others in their struggles, letting them know they are not alone. Fourthly, forgive freely. Release grudges, free yourself and others. Fifthly, be present. In a distracted world, presence itself is love. Sixthly, embrace the little virtues. Small acts done consistently transform lives. The sixth point for our reflection today: spiritual friendship and the universal call to holiness. St. Francis de Sales also taught about spiritual friendship, a relationship rooted in mutual growth in holiness. He believed holiness is not for the few, but for all the baptized. Spiritual friendships encourage the practice of little virtues and keep us walking faithfully with God. To conclude, a call to kindness and compassion. My dear brothers and sisters, the world desperately needs gentle souls, patient guides, and compassionate hearts. The Salesian Touch is not just a spiritual method, it is a mission. Let us follow St. Francis de Sales. Let us reflect God's love by being kind in our words, patient in our dealings, compassionate in our judgments, and hopeful in our outlook. May we become instruments of peace, comfort for the suffering, and witnesses of God's tender mercy. By embracing kindness and compassion, we touch hearts, transform lives, and lead souls to God. Live Jesus.